Hey everyone, Lewis aka Spider-Man 1991 here with a little vlog idea that I had because I love Pokemon, and over this past year Pokemon has been celebrating its 20th anniversary, and I had this weird idea that I thought would make a good video vlog where you pretty much create your own ultimate Pokemon team, so to speak. Now, if you don't know anything about Pokemon, I don't know how that's possible because everyone loves it. But basically in the game, you can carry up to 6 Pokemon with you. Now, I kind of thought, there's 6 Pokemon. A lot of people, they, build a team with their favorite Pokemon. That's fine. I think that's great. But whenever I played the games, I always tried to fulfill a certain role, make sure that every slot had something useful that I could have, pretty much leading everything up to the Elite Four. And after that, I kind of kept everything balanced, like certain types and everything. So I had a very analytical thing when it came to this. But I kind of thought, what if there was a certain roles you had to fulfill with these 6 slots? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to list six requirements that 6 roles that you have to fill for your Pokemon party. And pretty much, if you like this idea, please let me know in the comments below. I'm going to give you my ideas for this list. So let's get started. So let me explain the 6 things you have to fulfill. First one is starter. Now this is obviously your starter Pokemon. You can fully evolve it though. You can state in your list the fully evolved form of your starter. I mean, obviously no one keeps their starter in its original form for too long. I mean, evolution is really one of the things that make the Pokemon games interesting. So yeah, slot number 1 is your starter, and it can be any starter from any generation. Number 2 is favorite type. Basically your favorite type of Pokemon, and what Pokemon would you want. For example, if you say fire is your favorite type, you could go with Arcanine, Magmar, Macargo, things like that. Things like that. And number 3 is legendary. Yes, I know you can only have 1 legendary on this list. The reason why is because I think that if you have an entire team of legendary Pokemon, it just really doesn't seem that fun. I mean, you've got some of the legendaries are really powerful, and to me that just seems it doesn't seem like much fun if you and your friends all have legendaries and you're just going to battle each other. I mean, come on, having legendary on your team is a good sort of trump card, but only keep it to 1. All right, otherwise, because it's fun to have the other slots mixed up, test other different strategies and everything. Okay, and number 4 is an Eeveelution. Now, the Pokemon Eevee has at least, let me think here. I'm trying to remember how much. 8 forms. Eevee has 8 different forms that it can evolve into based on certain conditions, whether you use an evolutionary stone, level it up at certain times of the day or at certain places. And basically, choose your favorite Eevee, what Eevee form you like the most, or which one you think is going to be the most battle effective to put in that slot. And even if you don't want to evolve your Eevee and just keep it as a regular Eevee, that's okay too. Okay, number 5 is a transporter. Now, what I mean by transporter is a Pokemon that you use for primarily flying or surfing, or just any other, or if the other slots that I mentioned have a Pokemon that you're going to use a major HM on, like fly or surf on. If you want to put a Pokemon that's pretty much all it knows is HMs that you keep just in case you have to run to a tree or a rock that needs to be smashed or move a boulder, that's fine too. That's fine too. And the last slot is Wildcard. Wildcard is pretty much anything. Wildcard is pretty much any Pokemon you want, you can put on there. And yes, I am going to bend the rule for the Wildcard and say that if you want another legendary, that's fine too. Okay, now that I've explained the rules, if you want to recap them, I also wrote them down in the description below to this video, so you can check that out. So you can reference that if you want as I go along the list. So here's my pick for my ultimate Pokemon team. Number 1, the starter. My starter would most likely be Charmander, and I would evolve it to Charizard because Charizard is definitely my favorite Pokemon from Gen 1 and probably my favorite Pokemon in general too. I did grow up on the original 150, so naturally I am going to be more inclined to pick Gen 1 Pokemon, but Charizard was awesome. He was like, I mean, when you saw all 3 starters evolved, and if you knew what they were going to evolve into, you would probably want Charizard because he does look like a dragon. Even though technically he's not a dragon type, he can still learn dragon type moves, which is awesome. And also, you can teach it Fly too. I usually teach Charizard. Whenever I get Fly in any of the Kanto games, I usually teach that to a Pidgey or some other bird that I captured, and then by the time I get Charizard, I'm like, okay, you're done. I put the bird in the box, teach Charizard Fly, and that's why I used to fly everywhere. Okay, next up, number 2. My favorite type of Pokemon is probably dragons. I like dragon types. They are awesome. To me, they're also pretty strong too because they're resistant to most attacks except ice and the recent generation fairy, which I kind of felt weird. I mean, ice kind of makes sense to me, but fairy, come on, really? They're super effective against that. Yeah, but dragon types are also really hard to level up. A lot of them take time, don't really learn any good moves until their final forms. And the dragon type that I would want on my team is Salamence. Salamence is a really cool Pokemon. He's got awesome attack, really awesome stats. Also, and I know I just said I was going to teach Charizard Fly, but Salamence can learn Fly on his own. I mean, immediately when you evolve from Shelgon to Salamence, he'll immediately go like, Salamence wants to learn Fly. Do you want this? So yeah. So even if I don't have, so I don't know what game this would be, but if in what game I don't have the HM for Fly yet, and I have Charizard, but then I evolve to Salamence, I would probably keep just have Salamence learn Fly. So really cool. Also, it does have awesome, like I said earlier, awesome attack moves, which could also come in handy with the ultimate dragon type move, Draco Meteor. Okay, now for my legendary choice. Right, what legendary would I pick? Well, I've already got a fire type and a dragon, so I'm probably not going to pick another dragon, even though that is my favorite type. I think I might want to go with probably one of the most hard Pokemon that you could have gotten in the original games, because when I was a kid, and back when people could still take their Game Boys to school, if you had Mewtwo on your team, everyone knew that you were awesome. And so I just gave it away. I'm gonna go with Mewtwo. Yeah, Mewtwo. Pretty much, Mewtwo was the last Pokemon that you could catch in the game story-wise. Obviously, after Mewtwo, you'd still go around, catch other Pokemon to fill the Pokedex. But once you went to the Cerulean Cave and caught Mewtwo, that was kind of like where the story officially ended. At least I think so, in my opinion. Mewtwo is also incredibly strong. He can learn a number of moves that are great. You're probably asking me why I didn't pick Mew instead of Mewtwo. Well, for one thing, Mewtwo can Mega Evolve, and Mew is really difficult to catch. Is definitely more difficult to catch than Mewtwo, because Mewtwo has been able to be caught at the Cerulean Cave in almost all the Kanto games and Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and also the cave in Kalos after you beat the Pokemon Leaf in X and Y. And like I said, it has Mega Evolution, and I do like the introduction that we got of Mega Evolution in this generation. So already half my Pokemon on this team can Mega Evolve, so that's great. And next up, my Transporter. Now, okay, the reason I use the term Transporter is because I've already got 2 Pokemon that can learn Fly. My Transporter, I'm probably going to pick a Water type so that it can learn Surf, and I think the Water type I'm going to go with is Lapras. Yeah, Lapras. Why? Lapras can learn some psychic moves and some ice moves, which I think is a nice balance. I could use Surf as the primary Water type move, but also I could teach it Ice Beam. It can learn Ice Beam, Blizzard. I could use some ice moves, which would be great because if I'm going up against the Elite Four, there's usually a guy with dragons. So in that battle, I would probably alternate between Lapras, Salamence, and maybe Charizard as a backup if those 2 get knocked out and Charizard knows a dragon type move. Eeveelution time. Eevee is pretty much very adaptable. You can pick Eevee to whatever form you need, or just pick an Eeveelution that looks cool. This is going to be hard for me because right now there are 2 Eeveelutions I like. I'm always torn between them. I think I'm going to go with... Umbreon. Umbreon, because it's a dark type, it can also learn some psychic moves, which would be great. I mean, obviously because dark is weak against fighting, and I can use psychic to take out any fighting type Pokemon. Plus, I almost said Jolteon, but I have a lot of Gen 1 Pokemon on my team already, so I'm just gonna stick with another generation of Eevee moves. So I'm gonna go with Umbreon. I think Umbreon is also really cool looking, so that's something that's really great. So yeah, my Eeveelution choice would be Umbreon. Alright, now for my final slot, my wild card. Now my wild card, like I said, wild card, it could be anything you want. Any Pokemon that you want. If you want another legendary, that's fine. Alright, for me, my wild card is going to be Pikachu. Yeah, Pikachu. Like I said, I love the original 150. I was actually introduced to Pokemon through the TV series. And Pikachu, yeah, he is the most recognizable Pokemon out of the entire franchise. You see Pikachu almost every piece of Pokemon merchandise. So that's why I'm going with him. And also Pikachu has an incredibly fast, high speed stat. I think that's also really important too. And usually in terms of HMs, I always have Pikachu learn Rock Smash. So there's that. Yeah, but to be honest, I really do like Pikachu. He is definitely one of my favorites. Probably number 2 right after Charizard. And I think having an electric type does kind of help balance my team out a bit more. So yeah. There you go. That is my ultimate Pokemon team. Just a quick recap. If you skipped just to the end of this video, it was Charizard, Salamence, Lapras, Mewtwo, Umbreon, and Pikachu. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think of my team? Let me know. Also, if you want to let me know what you guys think your team is according to this whole list or formula that I made, let me know in the comments below. I also rewrote the different slots you need to fill in the video description too, so let me know about that. If you guys want me to do more Pokemon vids, I already do have notes for one other video I could do. Let me know if you have any more ideas. I'll work on them. Thanks again for watching. I'm Spider-Man 1991 saying see you later.